Good morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always, told out of Voice of Radio. So today we've got two new EXs to talk about. They're both stage 2s, and one of these is awesome. Like proper job awesome. So let's start off having a little bit of a look at Magnezone EX. Remember, this one was kind of revealed at the World Championships. They showed us a little collage, and we could basically see what it did back at the World Championships. So we're going to go a little bit faster through this one, and then we're going to have a longer look at Gardevoir, and make no mistake about it, ladies and gentlemen, Gardevoir looks amazing. Now, we have seen the pre-evolutions here. The translations come from myself. I have checked the EXs with the lovely Antoine Boulet. I've actually not checked the pre-evolution with anyone, so if these translations are wrong, I apologise. So Magnemite then, we got 60 HP, single energy 10, or single energy, switch this Pokemon with one of your bench. It's not great really, is it? Sorry. Going up into Magneton, we've got 90 HP, single energy 20, 2 energy 90 damage, and it does 90 to itself. Yeah, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. We've got one of those explosion kind of things. Self-destruct and all of that good stuff. It is supposed to KO itself. Do remember that you can use something like a Big Charm and you will actually survive. But when I say something like a Big Charm, I don't mean Big Charm, because the problem is Big Charm is rotating as this comes out, and we do now know this for a fact. We know the Big Charm is rotating as this comes out. So I do kind of love the idea of putting something like a Big Charm on here, doing 90 for 2 energy on a stage 1, which is not actually all that good anyway. But yeah. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I rather suspect this is destined to not be great. Also worth noting, I don't believe at the moment we've got anything that will increase the HP of Pokemon tool-wise, so sorry, not when this actually comes out. Hey-ho. Right, so moving over to Magnezone itself then, we don't actually really need much of a translation here, because we kind of have an English scan. Now, we do now have confirmation of the HP, which is quite nice. We know it's now 330. We see that Stage 2 EXs seem to be basically in line with VMAXs. That seems to be basically where we are. Remember, we have previously seen Ampharos, and that had 330. So this seems about right. We need to see a few more before we can say for certain, but 330 for a Stage 2 seems about right. And we've got single energy, and this Pokemon does 50 damage for each energy attached to all of your opponent's Pokemon, which is fine. I mean, to be fair, it's actually really good. It's a single energy attack, and if your opponent gets too much energy on their field as a whole, smash. And obviously, I like this. I think this is pretty cool. It really depends on the deck, and it is a stage 2, and that's a bit of a pain, but it is worth noting that this can be good. Against an energy-hungry deck, and we're going to see Gardevoir in a minute, which can be very energy-hungry, it doesn't take that much. 4 energies, 200, with a choice belt, you're getting Pokemon V. 5 energies, 250, you'll get a V, but with a choice belt, you will go and get your Sal V-Star. And 6 energies, 300, with a choice belt, will basically get anything. You only need 7 to get the big EXs, so hey-ho. If you are against 340 HP VMAXs, which does happen, then 6 energies, 300, choice belt, and then Radiant Hawlucha will do the extra little bit of damage if you need it, because that does 30 more to Pokemon VMAXs. Point is, if your opponent attaches enough energy, you'll smash. But then by the same token, good players are going to play around this. They will attach the energy only when they really need it, so they'll get a key KO and then open themselves up to a return KO most of the time. I know that's not always possible. I just feel like this is a bit too easy to play around, and it's on a stage 2. 2 energy, 220, this Pokemon does 30 to itself. It's fine. It will get Pokemon Vs, basically. This is 2 energy, KO a Pokemon V or a basic Pokemon EX. It's alright. It's not stunning. It's fine. There we go. I'm giving this thing 3 and 4 Wassies. When I give half Wassies, that would be barbaric. It's alright. But the fact that it's a stage 2 and is a bit situational puts me off a little bit. But Gardevoir, ladies and gentlemen, oh, I like Gardevoir. Now, we've got 310 HP here, which is obviously lower than we've seen on Ampharos and Magnezone, which is a little bit of a pain. But Gardevoir is sometimes a little bit smaller, and you got a really good ability, and it's going to be okay. Now, the attack here is fine. 2 Psychic, 1 Colorless Energy, 190 damage. Remove any special conditions or heal any special conditions from this Pokemon. It's fine. You'll need a choice bout to go after Pokemon V, which isn't ideal, but, you know, people play choice bout and still getting Pokemon Vs, and you can get out of special conditions and things of that nature. It's all right. It's not great, but I don't think we're really loving Gardevoir for the attack. We're loving Gardevoir for the ability. And the ability, and I'm delighted to say I legitimately translated it myself, and it is one of the hardest ones I've actually translated myself. As often as you like during your turn, you may attach a basic Psychic Energy from your discard to one of your Psychic Pokemon. If you do, put 2 damage counters on that Pokemon. Now, this is, in a way, the same kind of ability we've seen a whole bunch on Stage 1 Pokemon, the most recent of which is Flaffy. Here's the thing, though. This is way better than what we see on stuff like Flaffy. First of all, you can attach it to any Pokemon, not just your bench Pokemon, which is a big deal. And secondly, you've got a decent HP Pokemon with a decent attack, rather than a Pokemon which is basically only ever going to sit on the bench and never be a viable attacker. And you know what? That's not bad, ladies and gentlemen. That's not bad. Oh, I should actually say, it's not limited to once during your turn. So whereas something like Flaffy, you have to get multiple of them out to use multiple times, Gardevoir's just get it once and go. And this ability, I don't say this very often when it comes to Pokemon cards, I do think this is a bit broken. If this was just a Stage 2 that could attach to anything active or bench, meh, it's fine. But the fact that it's as often as you like, Now, I should say there are a couple of significant downsides. You can only attach to Psychic Pokemon, whereas something like Flaffy you can attach to any bench Pokemon. And you do have to take 2 damage counters to accelerate the energy. And that is a little bit of a pain. And actually, this kind of has to be Psychic Pokemon, because otherwise it would be too good. But make no mistake about it, this is still absolutely redonk. And I do think this is one of those that could get absolutely silly very, very quickly indeed. I mean, think of something like Shadow Rider Calyrex V Max. 10 damage plus 30 free Psychic Energy attached to all of your Pokemon. And it's got the ability Underworld Door that lets you attach a Psychic Energy to a bent Psychic Pokemon and draw 2 cards. Which is fine. And to be fair, that is from your hand, so now I can attach 2 from my hand. But now I've got 1 Gardevoir out, and all of a sudden, during my turn, I can attach 2 from my hand, 1 normally, 1 with Shadow Rider, and all of them from my discard pile, and now I am rolling, ladies and gentlemen. I am rolling. And generally speaking, piling all your energy on 1 Pokemon can be a little bit of a pain, because, well, you run into some problems, don't you? What if you get KO'd? Not ideal. Nobody cares, ladies and gentlemen. Nobody cares. Because you get 1 Pokemon KO'd with all of your energy, and you literally just get it straight back. Now, you do have to take the 2 damage counters every time, which is genuinely relevant. That is something you do need to bear in mind. But think about something like, we had that Tapu Lele in Incandescent Arcana that we haven't actually had yet. But it's basically got the same attack as Tapu Lele GX, but it does hit for weakness. Tapu Lele GX, remember, was specifically doesn't hit for weakness. This does. So we're good. It's 20 damage for each energy attached to both active Pokemon. But I can get 6 energy on here pretty gosh darn quickly. 5 using Gardevoir, I cannot put any more or I will be KO'd. 1 from my hand, 6 energy, 120. And most of the time I would tell you that piling 6 energy onto a basic Pokemon that's going to get KO'd next turn is a stupid idea, and most of the time it is. But here you get KO'd, the energy's in a discard, Gardevoir can accelerate as much energy as you like from the discard, you're good. Go for it. And you can't even get really silly, so you can basically do silly things like Hyper Potion. So I attach 5 energy with Gardevoir. I've only got 10 HP remaining. I Hyper Potion 2 of them off, heal 120. I'm completely healed. So now I've got 3 energy on there, but I'm completely healed. Now I put another 5 energy on there, and now I've got 8 energy on there. 1 from the hand, I've got 9 energy on there. That's 180. And then Choice Bout is 210. And then, you know, I can start using maybe stuff like Shadow Rider, etc. And without much effort, I can get my Tapu Lele KOing Pokemon V. And I can do this every turn and just leave it with 10 HP remaining and you're good to go. This is one example. I'm not saying it's the best example. I am saying it is one example. And we can keep going. And there's going to be more Psychic Pokemon in the future. And that's the point here. We don't know what other Psychic Pokemon are coming. Yes, it's a Stage 2. Yes, you have to get it into play. And that really depends on how happy you are to get the Stage 2 out. But if you get a single Gardevoir out, no Psychic Pokemon will ever be too expensive to use again. And that is a really genuinely big deal. So no, I don't think I'm exaggerating when I say this is broken. And this is one of those ones where I don't think I can talk about this ability in hyperbolic enough terms. It's ridiculous. Now at this point, some of you are thinking, hey Wassy, what about Lunatone? Yeah. Not sure about Lunatone. Because Lunatone is free energy, 30 damage plus 30 more free psychic energy on this Pokemon. To be fair, I can put 4 on there without it being KO'd. 1 from the hand is 5 on there, so that's actually 180 as well. So maybe this is even better than Tapu Lele. Because basically, it does 30 base, so just count that as an extra energy. So it's 30 times. 4 energy on there from the ability, 1 from the hand, plus the base is 6. That's 180, and then you're up there what I was saying about Tapu Lele. Problem there we've got, of course, is I can't keep piling energy on. The low HP is a little bit of a problem. But then again, let's not forget Clefairy is still a thing, and I've not liked Clefairy much at all. And to be fair, it's got that energy acceleration onto other Clefairy. It's a bit of a gimmick. But now, and it's only got 60 HP, but if I'm going nuts with energy with something like Gardevoir, then Clefairy, and I've got to watch the 60 HP, but what I do is I accelerate 2 energy using Gardevoir. Now I've only got 20 HP remaining. I cannot do a third with Gardevoir, but I then attach from my hand, and that's free energy on there, so now Clefairy's on board. But I'm doing 20 damage for each psychic energy attached to all of my Pokemon, so I can go completely nuts with Gardevoir, spread my energy all around the field, and then Clefairy becomes a great sweeper. And again, if I've got Gardevoir in play, I need 2 psychic energy in the discard, and 1 in my hand, and I can just play Clefairy down and use it instantly. And just absolutely sweep. Clefairy is 20 times, so again, and it's only on you. Remember, Tapu Lele can take advantage of your opponent, which is one of the reasons I potentially like it over Lunatone, because Tapu Lele, you can do that extra damage from your opponent's energy, whereas Lunatone is only on Lunatone and Clefairy is only on your Pokemon. It does get a bit more awkward. Lunatone is better than Tapu Lele just on its own, but because you can take advantage of your opponent's energy, that's when I start leaning towards Tapu Lele. The reality is, just play them all. They're basic Pokemon. Play like a couple of each of them and then just see what the situation is. And then go for that. I love this. And the fact that we've got stuff like Shadow Rider, like Tapu Lele, or we will have, you've got to imagine it's going to be in Crown Zenith, like Clefairy, like Lunatone. Yes, that is 4 different Pokemon that are going to be in the format that all have attacks that are dependent on the amount of psychic energy on your field. Maybe your opponent, maybe just your active. The point is, if ever there was a type that just wanted to put a redonkulous amount of energy on the board and smash, it's this. And you can even maybe combine it with the Gardevoir from Chilling Reign. It's got the nice ability, once during your turn, look at the top 2 cards of your deck, attach any basic energy you find to your Pokemon in any way you like. And then free energy, 60 damage, plus 30 more free psychic energy attached to this Pokemon. And I can attach 6 with the ability without KOing it. So now all of a sudden, that's 240 damage. 6 times 30 is 180 plus the 60 base. And if I'm playing Gardevoir anyway, I've got to evolve up through into the stage 2. So teching in one of these would be fine. Now there's another option. This is one of the things that Psychic does. Is, hey, get lots of energy, smash. I like this. I really like this. The attack is fine. But the reality is, as I've explained to you over the past few minutes, I ain't looking to attack with this. What I'm looking to attack with is all of these other Pokemon, these single prize Pokemon that take advantage of having all the energy, force my opponent to have a way to gust and KO Gardevoir, and then hopefully just get another one up and rolling anyway, so it doesn't really matter if it gets KO'd. I'm giving up 2 prizes, but my deck is still running along just like I expected it to. I adore this. This is a hands down, flat out, no question 5 Wassy Pokemon, and I know this is really one of those ones we have to think about. This is just a legit, ridiculous, amazing Pokemon. And I love it, ladies and gentlemen. I absolutely love it. Now, we didn't actually look at the pre-evolution, so maybe we should do that very quickly here. What we've got here is a Route 70 HP, 2 Energy 30. Yeah, no one really cares. And then Curlier, 2 Energy 30. 3 Energy, 60 damage. Plus 20 for each energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. So not to yours, not to all of theirs, just to their active. But actually, this is not bad. Because you can get a free energy on the, getting free energy on an evolving stage 1 is generally not something we want to do. But here it's fine. And if your opponent attaches lots of energy, this could get kind of broken. Except, don't play this Curlier. Never play this Curlier. Because remember the one we got in Sword and Shield 12 in Silver Tempest? The one that's got that ability that lets you discard a card from your hand and draw 2 cards? Yeah, sorry, it took me way too long to mention this. You've got a legit draw engine in this deck. Because this is going to be the Stage 1 Curlier you use. And now you've got a... So, I've been talking for like the past 10 minutes about how broken this Pokemon is. And oh yeah, you've got a Stage 1 with a draw engine as well. This is ridiculous. The Gardevoir, incidentally, also has that ability, but generally speaking, just use Curlier, and then, you've got the other Gardevoir to use, but maybe play one and use the ability. I don't know, I'm not your real dad. Point is, this is amazing, and I love it. We've seen a bunch of EXs so far that have been meh. This is not. This is awesome. Also, kind of reminiscent of the first Gardevoir card we ever got, way back in EX Ruby and Sapphire. Although that was from your deck and it was once per turn, believe me, this is better. Right, this video's going on too long. I've been gushing about Gardevoir for too long, so now it's your turn. Tell me if this is as good as I think it is. Go nuts in the comment section. Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at the Wassy. That's where we talk Pokemon and all kinds of fun things. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCGradio, where you can support the channel, you can get some bonus podcasts where I answer all of your questions, you can join a Discord and chat with us about various things, and you can get shoutouts on the channel, like the lovely Trial Captain Ad, who's a very lovely person and one of our supporters, so thanks for the support and thanks for being lovely. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.